Hey guys, and welcome back to Specter of Torment. We've reached a stage that gave me a lot of trouble in my initial run-through. Welcome back to the Lost City, with a variety of outdoor sections, which is quite surprising, but makes for a nice build-up to the Lost City itself, I suppose.
I really like this remix of the stage, actually. Like you said, it adds a lot of neat little outdoor areas. Everything inside is, nicely redone. It has an interesting new property with the, the gel blocks that we have seen before. You'll bounce off of them like normal, but even if you hit them, it will actually bounce you sideways. And the way some of the platforming is set up in this stage, in that it will allow you to actually bounce off onto another platform you would need to get. So, again, I just really like how things have been changed sufficiently enough that this stage almost feels pretty new in its own right.
So here we go, there's the thing laying down, and this is where Shovel Knight's adventure would begin, right here, actually.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, now that I look at it, I can kind of see that little callback to the beginning of his stage.
A mimic. And it's dead, and I lost most of the treasure. Well, we're off to a good start here.
Well, that's true. I mean, hey, it's a good thing we hired you as a treasure hunter, am I right?
Oh man, I would love being a treasure hunter. It's all the physical activity, really. Can I just have, like, gold bullion bars on a conveyor belt leading to my house? That's a certain kind of treasure hunting, isn't it?
Well, first off, that's really sad, and you should feel bad for yourself. Secondly, that's always the problem, though. Whenever you see any bit of media where somebody's like, well, I'm going to be a treasure hunter, I'm going to, raid tombs, let's just throw that out here. They always stumble onto some crazier shit that makes the job way harder than it needs to be. There's always archaeological finds that somebody's trying to steal, and there's always some sort of ancient prophecy or ancient magic that gets involved that we cannot release to the outside world, but you know that shit will just get out anyway. It's just like being a treasure hunter is inviting trouble at this rate.
Have you seen the more recent Mummy film?
I have heard extremely bad things about it, actually.
Well, I don't know whether I want to turn this part into a Brendan Fraser sockfest, but I really enjoyed the original two Mummy films. I also watched Scorpion King, but less said about that, the better. It was entertaining at the very least.
Well, I mean, The Rock needed a first movie. Like, I actually saw, like, a video of his where he went ahead and he actually rewatched his old movie, the Scorpion King. He reacted to it in that kind of sense. And I guess everybody needs a place to start. It's certainly a safer career than, say, doing wrestling and breaking your ass for like 20 years. Yeesh.
Yeah. I think I've actually also watched one of his first videos, but it was like to do with his first wrestling match, I believe.
Yeah, and he had like that shitty hair back then. This was back when they were trying to force him as like a face, but nobody was really buying into it, so he kind of developed into more of that anti-hero persona that, was really popular during the Attitude Era, and which is where I discovered The Rock, of course. This stage also introduces, we saw them back there as a neat little gimmick where, those little, I don't know what the hell to call those, the soul orbs that are kind of dangling from chains or whatever.
Ah, yes, the salt orbs, one of your more mystical properties, I believe.
Yeah, I think. But the main thing about it is that these are covered by the gel, so actually when you slash into them, you will bounce in the other direction. Again, lots of great usage in this stage because it creates a lot of fun little platforming segments where you kind of have to bounce around between them. It's just, they took a logical idea with the dash slash and the ability to walk off the walls, and they created so many great and new angles to it that it just makes it really fun to platform in this campaign, so I appreciate all the effort.
I don't know whether this is a divisive statement, but hopefully we'll get some tongues wagging in the comments, but I've seen a lot of people say that while Plague of Shadows is good, it feels more like an expansion pack to Shovel of Hope, whereas Specter of Torment, regardless of like how you might feel about it, feels like a proper, fully fleshed out game, and despite it not having the optional stages of both the first two campaigns, I can see where people are coming from when they say that.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree. Like, Plague of Shadows do feel like an expansion because all the stages are, for the most part, extremely similar, but this one remixes everything in such a great way that it feels wholly new in its experience, so I can definitely understand where they're coming from with that.
Oh, Red Knight, you can't deal with the Judgment Rush, my friend. You just can't.
Yeah, they need like a whole section of the Order of No Quarter, which is just like color knights, Red Knight, White Knight. There's the weird Brown Knight, which nobody really likes. There's Chartreuse Knight, who tries to be special, but nobody really pays attention to him, despite his color choice.
What is Chartreuse, exactly? What's it a shade of?
Chartreuse is like a greenish yellow, or is it a yellowish green? I actually really don't know. I'll have to ask Chartreuse sometime what they're trying to do with that.
Well, as long as you don't interrupt him during work time. You know, he works very hard. Where the fuck are we going with this joke? I'm confused.
I don't even know. I'm just talking, man.
How did you fare in this stage, man? Because I did mention it gave me a lot of trouble, mostly from, just me not planning things out ahead and just like diagonal slashing to my doom or over slashing and whatnot. But how did you fare in the Specter of Torment version of the Lost City?
This one was definitely a lot tougher for me. There was actually a section back there which we passed over super fast. You know, where you have to destroy those blocks and they keep destroying themselves, and then you have to get over to the other side before you fell into lava. I actually died in that room like, God, 5-10 times. I just could not get it after a while. It was actually pretty tough for me. So yeah, I struggled a lot on this stage, but ultimately, you know, once I figured out how to get past all that, you know, it was definitely rewarding.
I don't think we've actually mentioned the soundtrack at all in the playthrough yet, and I've got to say, I didn't really notice any, like, well, noticeable changes in Plague of Shadows, but a lot of the remixes didn't do much for me in Specter of Torment. It's not to say the OST is bad. You know, Jake Kaufman / Bert is, you know, he's a chiptune god, but apart from maybe a few standouts, which I'll point out as we get to them, including the flying machine, which we've passed, didn't really do much.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're just ultimately remixes of the themes we've heard before. Still good music, but nothing super new. But you know what? I'm not really going to give it a lot of blame. I think the rest of the campaign speaks for itself.
Yeah. Now, if you were expecting no changes to this fight, you would be wrong. Dead wrong. Because
oh, goodness.
we're going to see the reflective slime play a role in this Mole Knight fight. And, I don't think he likes Plague Knight. Oh no, he probably doesn't think much of his digging implement. Well, it's not even a digging implement, it's more of a farm tool than anything. Let's rock.
Of course, his starting move is to fall down on the ground because of how fat he is. But yeah, Mole Knight is like way more different in this fight. You know, he kind of starts out with the typical sort of same moves, the dashing everywhere. But this time he busts out the gel blocks, actually, for a lot of parts of his attacks. And they definitely changed the fight up in, you know, unexpected ways that threw me completely off course. I don't remember if I died on this guy. I may have. I do know I struggled quite a bit because he's a lot more unpredictable with his dashing this time around. Like, he'll bounce everywhere. He'll even coat himself with slime and kind of make it hard to hit him to begin with. It's definitely a lot more challenging.
For sure, for sure.
Although I do like how you're managing to use the Judgment Rush to kind of warp in when he brings up the walls, which is always something I struggled with whenever I fight this guy. Great finish there, by the way, like, really nicely done.
Oh, you know me, mate, I don't do things by halves. Well, I guess I'll see you back in the Tower of Fate, Mr. Mole Knight.
I hope they have a hospital with him, because I think we just beat the shit out of his ass, you know?
He's wearing armor, his moles can tend to his wounds, I suppose.
Well, all the knights are wearing armor, technically, so...
Oh, you see the volcano bubbling in the distance?
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah. See, like I said before, you know, it adds a little touch every time you record a new Knight of the Order of No Quarter, so it's always neat to kind of see how it changes in the background.
Huh. Slows everything down around you. That's gotta be a stand ability, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a motherfucking JoJo reference, yes.
Alright, back to the mysteriously cursed gadget sections, so to speak. Why can't I use my siphon here? It's in the script. What's that on the ground? Is it the script?
It's not actually something to prevent you from using your scythe, it's to prevent the co-workers from playing their Game Boys when they're on the job, but the curse kind of applies to the scythe as well for some reason.
This skeleton over here is playing Gallagher. He thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
Now this particular curio, it has some uses, mainly to, again, kind of bounce off of walls and try to hit targets, but I never really found it to be that reliable. in terms of aiming. Like, even upgraded, I thought it would be more useful than it actually turned out to be. I would much more rely on using the wall-crawling scythe ability to kind of hit targets along that path. So, you know, get it at your own will. The Kronos coin as well, when that's upgraded, it slows down time long enough to actually really help on some platforming sections, especially in the last stage of this campaign, so I would actually recommend picking that up as soon as you can.
Interesting. They're just going to sit at the table, asking for food, I suppose, and rightfully so. I think that's the least they deserved after we beat the shit out of them, as a means of saying, please join my secret club.
Yeah, this is pretty much all it is. Hey guys, will you join my guild? You know, we've got a lot of great things going on here. We can totally go on raids together.
It says no specters. We're allowed to have one.
And one Reese, I guess. I suppose he's allowed, but oh well.
The Iron Well. I wonder what awaits us down under. Literally down under. It's underwater. Oh, hey.
I wonder if it's Treasure Night. Oh no, really?
He's calling out the fun days, the Baz. Oh, yeah.
Now, if you think we're gonna fight him, no, we don't. Which is actually lame, because I actually legit wanted to fight him, but for some reason they didn't put in a boss fight with him. I don't know.
I don't know. Seems like a bit of an oversight to me, but Baz is meant to be pathetic, and, well, I guess the portrayal is consistent, at least, in Specter of Torment to the other campaigns.
Spectre Knight just tells him to fuck off. Just get the fuck out, go back to be a wandering fight, I don't even care. Poor Baz, he just wanted to be part of a bunch of losers like him.
Yeah, I highly doubt that, honestly. And off he goes to cry diamonds. Or was it sapphires? I forget.
Well, anybody who can cry gemstones, somebody I want my team. I don't know about you.
Yeah, seems like a... I don't know, you'd oversaturate the gem market and it just wouldn't cost anything at that point. You would get no monies, no sales. Well, no sales equals less taxes, I suppose. I'm blathering at this point. We'll see you guys next time for another part of Specter of Torment. Goodbye.